Mutalisks now out for both players. EffOrt moving his own Mutalisks now up the map, and Jaedong has a few Mutalisks of his own. Now it's all going to come down to macro. This is the kind of game that Jaedong excels at, but we're going to see what EffOrt actually manages to prevent this or not, prevent Jaedong from taking him out. Jaedong now has a couple of zerglings inside of the base of EffOrt, inside of the natural, trying to take out some drones, but those zerglings aren't going to get taken care of by these Mutalisks and zerglings. Also, that drone is going to survive with his life. You really need this kind of matchup. You're full of drones. Both players now mining gas from both for both the natural and the main, so that's exactly why you take the early main, just to start off by maybe mining a couple of minerals, but then as soon as you get that extractor up, mining that second gas, and that's going to really allow you to afford a lot of Mutalisks and getting some Scourge in the air. I'm not seeing any Scourge so far though, so mostly Mutalisks from both players. They can afford that at this point, not really producing many more Zerglings at this point. Jaedong there has a quite large group of Mutalisks, and being spotted by those couple of Zerglings of EffOrt that is just keeping around Jaedong's base just to spot the flying and the positioning of those Mutalisks, trying to make sure that he knows where those are coming from and where they're going. Jaedong keeping all of his Zerglings inside of the natural so far, so he's mostly waiting for EffOrt to make the first move. EffOrt actually going to go for this Overlord to start off with. Mutalisks are coming up to defend this, but EffOrt pulling back just before he managed to take out that Overlord, because he would have given Jaedong a free hit there. EffOrt on the other side getting a couple of Zerglings inside of the main of Jaedong. He's not going to manage to get any kills though. It is going to get a full-on scout, so that is something. It is every little bit is helpful. Scourge now out for both players at this far. Not really any major engagement at the other side, on any side, so both players just trying to get a full-on positioning. Jaedong now also managing to sneak in a Zergling inside of EffOrt's base, so he's going to get a full-on scout on the other side as well. Just trying to get a drone to kill, but that's not going to happen. They always manage to damage the drones a little bit, will never quite manage to kill them. I think that's exactly what players do, because in this kind of matchup, the way they're going right now, one single drone kill will really help you out, just especially the longer the game goes on, because then that is one drone that the Zerg will either have to ignore and just get a slight, not quite as fast economy, or going to have to rebuild and waste minerals on that. Quite a lot of Scourge in the air for EffOrt, and he has to be careful with that, because Jaedong is so good at avoiding and microing around Scourge. I've seen him do an insane amount of that. So there's a shot of Savior and Movie, I believe that it was a long time, not quite sure. EffOrt again trying to sneak in his Zerg, and not going to prevent a lot of fans everywhere sitting around, because this is a gigantic stage. It's not the usual little Pro League stage that they're playing at. This is, of course, the finals, the Winners League finals. So that's that. CJ Entus just done a wonderful job of getting first place in this, while Hwaseung OZ second, and EffOrt was very important in that for CJ Entus, while Jaedong was absolutely critical in getting Hwaseung OZ to that second place and keeping him there. Not quite managing to get first place, but, you know, what are you going to do? No engagement so far by either player. They're just waiting this out. There is going to be fairly soon. I'm assuming there's going to be one huge engagement, which is going to decide this entire match. They're going to Scourge and Mutalisks flying around all over the place. Both players just sending out Zerglings around to some Scourge around, also to get on full scouts. They're just waiting for the perfect time to get an engagement. As soon as engagement happens, that's going to be a Jaedong now apparently moving out with Mutalisks. So we're going to see whether he actually goes for it or not. And there's a guy who looks like that Japanese hard gay guy. What's his called? Jaedong now flying in with a small fleet, kind of a scouting force of Scourge roll, kind of split around, and EffOrt's going to actually lose an Overlord. That's going to be bad for him, but actually, I think he might have actually flown Jaedong into quite a few Scourge, meanwhile himself getting caught by quite a few Scourge, trying to micro around. I'm not quite sure who has the more Mutalisks at this point. Jaedong now moving in, getting full aggression. I think this would be a chance maybe for EffOrt to move around. He actually has those Zerglings on the ground, so he's definitely trying to use those as a way to make this Mutalisks not fire his own force. I'm not seeing, I think actually Jaedong has taken this. He has quite a few more Mutalisks. Now EffOrt is going to be in a little bit of trouble. He's not done anything. I think at this point he might have actually should have thought of counter-attacking with his Zerglings, trying to go for a full-on attack on the other side, but now far too many Scourge and Mutalisks now for Jaedong. He's now cleaned up, and Jaedong is indeed going to take this first set. Some Scourge still flying around for EffOrt. That's going to be it. Jaedong's going to be able to micro around these fairly well. The Zerglings are still on the ground, but they're not going to be able to do anything. Jaedong now moving down with some Zerglings as well, now going to mop up all these forces, going to kill Overlord. Still has a few Scourge in the air that he has to take care of, but that's going to be it. EffOrt trying to move out with Zerglings far too late into the base of Jaedong. I think he should have done a long time ago. Shouldn't have really used those for trying to discourage those Mutalisks to try to take some hits. Should have just gone for the full-on attack, but Jaedong is completely ready for that. Has a control group or more of Zerglings that are ready for it. Now Jaedong is going to have, meanwhile, Mutalisks flying into the main of EffOrt's going to take all those drones out. So this is kind of EffOrt's last-ditch effort, but that's not little pun there. But that's not going to be anything. Jaedong's now going to take out all these drones, and EffOrt should just go ahead and GG at this point. There we go, GG. EffOrt trying to go for a trap on Jaedong. It was pretty successful. He landed quite a few Scourge, although I don't think he got the Scourge hits quite as well as he wanted, just not on as many Mutalisks at the same time as he would have wanted. and also got hit by all of Jaedong's Scourge. It came in there late, so kind of trap into a reverse trap. So Jaedong doing a very good job. ZVZ guy, ZVZ specialist, in the end in the first win for Hwaseung OZ. So GG guys, ranching out, second set soon.